Each week, we welcome to our NfG stage one of our highly talented members or special guests with a talk designed to help you and your business. Our next guest, a member of Networking for Good for many months, is always keen to help others. Having spent over 30 years in the entertainment industry, starting as an agent, going on into artist and venue management, and also into promotion, he finally ended up on the stage himself. And along the way, he went from being a shy person in the background to becoming a stage performer, happily speaking to hundreds of people for prolonged periods. Refining his skills over the years, he's also used this knowledge and skill to train countless people to learn to speak in public, helping them to become more captivating and look good. In our growing world of virtual entertainment in the form of events and presentations, there's no better time to master this skill. With a talk designed to set you on the road to turn your presentations into performance, to inspire others through effective presentations, I bring to you Donal O'Neill. Good morning, Donal.
All right. The title was Inspiring Others Through Effective Presentations, and that was one that Richard came up for me. Thank you very much, Richard. Right. Have any of you ever stopped to think about what was going through the mind of the first person to make a parachute jump? It was 1797 when André Jacques Garnerin went up underneath a hot air balloon to a height of 3,200 feet above the streets of Paris. And then he had to cut the rope that would let him go down. The only thing he was guaranteed was that he would hit the ground. The question was, at what speed? Now, Andre had done his homework, I'm sure. He probably, in the best traditions of Wile E. Coyote, had got an anvil or something and dropped it from a parachute from a great height to see what would happen. And perhaps when he had done that and he needed something alive, he maybe borrowed his dog, which might have been a wolfhound or a Doberman or something like that, and dropped that to see how that would react. You can imagine what the dog was thinking on the way down. If I ever get to the bottom, I'm resigning from the man's best friend club, and I'm going to bite the first person who comes near me. But the point is, what has all this got to do with presenting? Well, three things actually. The first thing is this. As I said before, Andre was lifted up and he had to cut the rope. That was his thing. Nobody could do that for him. It's the same thing with presenting. You can do all the preparation and so on, but you're the person that has to get yourself in front of the camera or onto the stage. There's lots of help you can get before that, and we'll come to that. The final thing, the third thing is, the second thing about Andre. Andre went on to perform parachute jumps all over France and all over England. The point I'm getting at here is he performed them. Now, if you think about this, doctors perform operations or perform examinations. Soldiers perform their duties. Professional truck drivers perform a three-point turn. And yet we talk about presenters delivering a presentation or delivering a speech. That, in my opinion, is wrong. You have to perform a speech. So I'd like to consider something, a very, very simple thing, a psychological thing. It is knowledge within psychology that human beings are twice as likely to run away from pain as they are to be attracted by pleasure, right? We run away from the things that harm us. We are attracted to the things we like, but it's twice as bad when it comes to pain. So on that basis, I'm going to concentrate on the things that will bring your presentation down so you can avoid them. And we will have some of the better things as well. Let's talk about visual aids. The clue is in the title, folks. Aids. Visual aids are there to help you present. You are not there to highlight the visual aid, right? That's really, really important. They're only there to assist you along the way. Now, please do not put up a slide on screen that is crammed full of text and then proceed to read it aloud word for word. Your audience can read much faster than you can speak, and they will get to the end of the slide well before you have finished speaking. They then have to hang about mentally while waiting for you to finish, and their minds will have begun to wander from the subject you're talking about. Do I need to say more? I don't think so. Same thing applies when it comes to bullet points. Do not put a list of bullet points on the screen, because by the time you've finished talking about the first point, just as everyone here now, everyone else has got to the last point and they're ignoring what you're saying. So don't put bullet points on the screen. If you want to, just do it one at a time. Now, I want to talk to you about content and slides. I attended what was actually a wonderful seminar last Monday, and it was run by Lisburn and Castlereagh City Council, and they put this slide up. This slide doesn't deserve to exist. Why is it there? I mean, look at it. It is terrible. For a start, there are so many words on it, you're never going to read it. Secondly, what designer decided blue on blue was a good way to put print anywhere? And then the small white print is so thin, the font, you'd never be able to read it, even if you were going to read the whole slide. It's a woeful slide. It should never be there. Don't ever do that. Moving on to what's worse. Look at this. I mean to say, what are you meant to do with this slide? There are 15 people on this slide, 15 names and 15 bios on one slide. Even if we were in the real world and you put this up on screen, the people in the first row couldn't read it, never mind the people in the last row. This is a terrible, terrible slide. This, however, is a good slide. You've all seen this already this morning. Not only have you seen it, you see it every morning. Why is this slide so good? Well, that's simple. Because it's a simple slide. There are 6 pictures on it. There are 6 names on it. You can read the names because they're light, white on blue. There's only one slight thing wrong with this slide, and it's very, very slight. And ironically, it's the word impact. Sorry, impact over there, because it's light on a light blue background. But everything else about that slide is great. Now, Adrian is the person who talks over this slide. So this slide is there to aid what he's talking about. He tells you that these people are the founders and so on. He tells you what they do. That's what a slide's there to do. If he wanted to develop the biography about one of these people here, he wouldn't do this. Okay, there's no way he wouldn't put all 6 biographies on it. He would put one up, right? And then you get a chance to read the biography. The biography is black on white, works very, very well, very easy to follow. So that's how you would do it, a simple one picture per slide. Now, this is a van that passed me on the road about 3 weeks ago, and I hunted it down, and it is a company called Discount Beds, who do a very good job of supplying beds throughout the UK. They also, as you can see, they supply mattresses, as you would expect, and they supply occasional furniture, which made me think, what exactly does that mean? I mean, do you walk into their showroom and the guy says, "Oh, come in, sir. Could I interest you in this piece of furniture over here? Occasionally it's a table, but the rest of the time it's a lawnmower." Or, "Madam, we have a beautiful occasional table lamp over here. The rest of the time it's a water fountain." Or perhaps, "Sir, look at this wonderful thing over here. Occasionally it's a really comfortable sofa. The rest of the time it's a driveway." I wonder, the point I'm making here is, here we have a simple slide with a photograph on it. So far, it has allowed me to talk about a company in East Belfast who'd supply with beds. It's allowed me to talk about tables, lawnmowers, driveways, table lamps, water fountains, etc., all from one simple picture. That's the idea. Use pictures a lot. A picture, they say, covers 1,000 words. It certainly helps you to mention 1,000 words along the way. I want to come back now to our original friend, André Jacques Garnerin. As I said to you at the start, he jumped from 3,200 feet. All reports say that his descent was horrific, right? Because what he didn't do, while the pressure of the air underneath made the canopy open up and certainly broke his fall, he didn't allow for the fact that as he kept on coming down, the pressure would get bigger and bigger, and it had to escape. So every now and again, the parachute would go like that, and he would drop like mad, and then it would build up the pressure again, and it would go like that, and he'd drop again. And the whole thing was quite horrific. Now, he did get to the bottom successfully, and as I said, he went on to do jumps throughout the France and the UK. But it wasn't André Jacques that solved the problem. It was his good friend who was actually an astronomer, right? Jerome Lalande. And it was Jerome that pointed out to him that you need to put a little round vent in a parachute, right? To let the pressure out in a controlled manner. And that way the chute comes down simply. And my point here is that I don't need to know your subject to help you put your presentation together. I would know nothing about parachutes, possibly neither did the astronomer, but he worked out that by putting a little vent on it, it makes the whole thing work. So I can do exactly the same thing with you to help you make a powerful presentation. And to that effect, in 2 weeks' time, I'm teaming up with another lady who was on here, Rosie Diver, and we're going to give you a free 6 top tips for a powerful presentation. It's an hour long. It's on Monday, the 22nd of February. There's the link, or you can send me an email and I'll send you the link. So there we go. That's just something I hope that helps you along the way today.